Well, welcome, Tanisha. I am so excited to have you on our podcast today. You are a special friend to me and also a wonderful board member on CareerSource Central Florida. Tanisha Nunn Gary is the president and chief executive officer at the African American Chamber of Commerce of Central Florida. She actually practiced law for 18 years. I want to ask you about that. Prior to joining the chamber, and she owned her own law practice, Law Office of Tanisha Gary. She has a bachelor's in arts and political science from Spelman College and received her law degree from Quinnipiac. Also, want to ask you about that because I lived in Connecticut for a while, so we have that in common as well. She was born and raised in South Georgia in a little town called Blackshear. Under her leadership, the African American Chamber of Commerce of Central Florida has been extraordinarily successful, and during COVID was awarded over $10,000 in grants to assist local Black-owned businesses who were struggling with getting back on their feet. Tanisha, so happy to have you on the podcast.
Thank you. So happy to be here. Thank you for having me, Pam.
Tanisha, I also know that you are a great music lover. You like jazz and blues and maybe some 70s music. And I learned that when you were on a trip in Europe, you actually met an amazing 70s icon.
Oh, yes, Pam. So I see that we both enjoy the love of music, and I love all types of music. But yes, I was on a work trip actually in Europe, and we extended our time and made an impromptu trip to Switzerland. We're
Ooh.
out at dinner one night, yes, which is amazing. It's beautiful. We're out at dinner, and who walks into the restaurant? Tina Turner. And
No.
so, yes, Tina
Wow.
Turner, and yeah, simply the best. I won't
That's
sing. And
simply the best.
simply the best. I won't sing today, but and I didn't do it for her, but she was so gracious. I was super excited. The folks in the restaurant, apparently that was one of her favorite places to come. So it was just like business as usual for them, but for myself and the party that I was with, she was just gracious. She took a picture with me and we chatted a little bit. I let her know that I used to get in trouble for watching like videos after school. And I used to love watching her videos and, just all of those things. So it was definitely like one of the greatest memories I have. And just meeting someone who is a true icon. So it was fun.
Oh, wow. That is an amazing story. Definitely one of a kind. And I'm sure you have that picture. We'll have to like see if we can get you to get that picture on our podcast website. I'd love to see it. I'd love to see it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, tell us a little bit about, I know a lot about what you do with the chamber, and I'm curious to learn a bit about that, but I'm also intrigued that you were an attorney. I don't think I realized that. Tell me a little bit about making a career decision to go into law and what that was like and why you chose to change.
Absolutely. So, I was inspired to become an attorney by actually my fifth grade teacher. And, we used to have like little mock trials and debate in our history classes and in our government classes. And so from fifth grade on, I said I wanted to go to law school. And as you mentioned, I went to Quinnipiac University in Connecticut, which was a long ways from home from a girl who grew up in South Georgia. And after that, I came to Florida. So this is where I've been my adult life since graduating from law school. And I built my career in the Treasure Coast in the Stewart area, spent some time in
Oh.
South Florida before
Mhm,
relocating here to Central Florida, where
mhm.
I have been since 2010, I believe. So we've been here for quite some time. But after practicing law for 18 years, I was a litigator, all plaintiffs work, serious injuries, as well as medical malpractice and products liability. I just wanted to change. You know how sometimes you're doing something and you're like, let's kind of take a step and see what else I can do. Never thought I would end up at a nonprofit, but it has been a great fit for me, just using my advocacy skills in a different way.
Wow, wow. So tell us a little bit about the African American Chamber and some of the challenges that minority and Black-owned businesses have in the market in general, and maybe here in Central Florida specifically.
Yeah, so the African American Chamber of Commerce of Central Florida was founded here in Orlando in 1945. So next year we'll celebrate our 80 years here in Central Florida. And of course, we are a chamber, and we have a lot of chambers here in Central Florida. We're located here at the National Entrepreneur Center, and our mission and vision is to be an advocate for Black-owned businesses here in Central Florida. And we do that through a myriad of ways, through advocacy, through access to contracts, access to capital, and entrepreneur training and development. So when I look at Black businesses, not just here in Central Florida, but as a whole,
Mhm.
access to capital has often been one of the struggles for Black businesses. And that's why we focus on, helping our members build relationships with different financial institutions, ways to get capital prior to starting the business, because oftentimes we have those that are going into businesses using savings as well as, small credit. And you really want to make sure you have that relationship with the bank early on. So
Mhm.
that's one of the things that we look at. But I'm super proud to see a lot of our members who are taking advantage of the chamber and other opportunities here in Central Florida to help scale and grow their businesses. We have seen I know you all supported us. Thank you so much at Eagle Awards this year, which was our 50th
Yes.
anniversary gala. And I am super proud to see how Black businesses are beginning to flourish and overcome some of those challenges that they previously had.
Yeah, the Eagle Awards is really one of the premier events here in Central Florida. And we are always so excited to be there. And we'll just make our listeners jealous because it's always it was at the Contemporary Resort this year,
It
right?
was this year was at Coronado
Oh,
Springs Resort.
Coronado.
Yes,
Coronado. It's
absolutely.
been at the
Yes,
Contemporary and at
exactly.
Coronado Resort out here at Walt Disney World, which is one of the great treasures that we all have the ability to access here. And the chamber is really, really essential. Also, as you mentioned, as Black businesses are growing their work. Well, how are Black businesses experiencing, from your perspective, the talent challenges that we have here in Central Florida, Tanisha?
It is a challenge, and I even experienced it somewhat here at the chamber. I think across the board, we talk to industries here in Central Florida, and it can be a challenge. That's why it's important to partner with organizations such as yours, to make sure that we are being a part of the conversations. What are the needs of the different businesses, and what are the opportunities to receive those services to help connect those that are in the job market in different businesses. So as I talk to my members, they're just looking for, how do we find good talent? What is
Mhm.
not only the way to recruit talent, but to retain talent? So those are conversations I think that we're having here, not only at the chamber with our members, but in Central Florida in the business community at large.
Yes, I do think that, to your point, particularly small businesses post pandemic are really struggling with the recruitment, the training and retaining of portions of keeping their workforce and continuing to be productive with it, because small businesses may not have the resources that large corporations have to do recruitment and to do training and retention opportunities. And so, to your point, accessing supports like the workforce development system, which is CareerSource Central Florida here in Orlando, but across the country, there are workforce boards that work with chambers such as the African American Chamber to provide those services to small businesses. Often, the biggest challenge we have is getting those connections, as you mentioned, the partnerships, and making sure that businesses know the supports are out there.
Absolutely. It's all about helping to, bring those resources. And that's why an opportunity like today is so important, so that we can share with the community at large. And we definitely share with our membership that those resources are there, and that, that you're not by yourself. There
Mhm.
are there are ways that you can get help with some of those recruitment, as you mentioned, that can be extremely expensive. I know that, it can be a percentage of a salary is what you're
Right.
paying large firms to do that in recruiting. So we just appreciate organizations such as yours for being really a driving force for the small business community.
Great, great. So obviously you work with a lot of entrepreneurs in who are small businesses in our community. So what kinds of, advice would you give to entrepreneurs, particularly individuals who are coming from the minority community who have thought about beginning a business and, are deciding whether to take that first step?
Right. So first thought, come to the National Entrepreneur Center. I'm just going to put it out there, Pam.
Absolutely.
Come visit us. We have over 20 resource partners here to help small, medium, large size businesses. And so, we work closely with many of the organizations here, such as SCORE. So if
Mhm.
there's someone who has a potential idea to start a business, come here. We've got SBDC, the chamber, so many of us that can sit down and kind of give you a roadmap, make sure that you have the business plan, make sure that you're properly, registered with the correct way with, SunBids here in the state of Florida. So really take advantage of resources that are free. Many of these resources are free to make sure you have the proper foundation before you go live with your business. I think oftentimes, we have that great idea and we're so excited and we just forge ahead and we may miss some of those critical steps that are so important to make sure that we build the business correctly from the bottom up. So, again, stop by the NEC. We're here Monday through Friday. You can make an appointment to meet with someone at the different organizations. And this is definitely a one-stop shop for entrepreneurs, those that are already in business, or if they're looking at starting a business.
Yes, I know. The National Entrepreneur Center here in Central Florida in Orange County in particular is very unique, I think, in the country. And that what you said, that we actually have many different organizations funded by local government, chambers like yourself, as well as the Hispanic Chamber. We had Gabi on our podcast a few months ago as well, really specifically having a lot of free or no cost to those business resources to stand up and start that first company, or really, as you said, think about the plan to start that first company, because there's a lot of pre-planning that really needs to go into the cook soup, so to speak, to
Yes.
get ready and be successful in starting a business. So, the National Entrepreneur Center, the NEC, and you all at the chamber being a part of that is such an incredible resource to our community.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. And, we collaborate so well together. You mentioned the Hispanic Chamber. We have done workshops and networking events with them. And we,
Mhm.
we're looking to do more this year, but it is just really a great place to come together. And it's like many, many resources that could help those who are looking to start a business or already have a business.
So what an incredible asset you are to, and the chamber is to this community. And Orlando, I really feel like we are such an incredible community, again, making our listeners really jealous if they don't live here. I mentioned that I went to the Plaza Live as one of a lovely venue. What is your favorite thing to do here in Orlando, Tanisha?
I couldn't agree with you more, Pam. Like, this is such an amazing place to live. It's almost like magical,
Mhm.
just a great place to live, work, and play. And so, when I'm not working, and as you know, we do a lot of work, I
Yes.
do like to get out and enjoy the community. There's so many great restaurants.
Mhm.
I'm a dessert person, so I love Patty Lou's Donuts.
Oh, I have to check that
Yeah,
out.
please check it out. I'll send you some. I'll get you hooked. But Patty Lou's Donuts,
My.
amazing. It's a Black-owned business on East Pine Street. But love to just get out and try different venues. At Dr. Phillips Performing Arts Center, they've opened Judson's Live, which is amazing. And so CC Tennille was there performing recently. But yeah, there are so many great places to go. Of course, love the theme parks. I have a son who's 15, so I've done my fair share of theme parks, taking him and his friends. But there is a lot of concerts. I mentioned the Janet Jackson concert. Like, there are a lot of concerts that come here. When you look at sports, we have the Orlando Magic. I love taking in a good basketball game. We have soccer, and so we have an array from sports and entertainment, theme parks, music, great restaurants. So
Yeah.
I love it. And as you can imagine, I think all my family and my friends, they love it as well because it's like my house is a rotating hotel because it is such a great place to come and visit. But for us, we have the pleasure to, as I said, live, work, and play here as well.
Yes, unbelievably real, right?
Unbelievably real.
Yes,
Exactly,
yes. We
Pam.
had Cassandra Matei from Visit Orlando on the podcast not too long ago. And you just mentioned all the incredible things that do make Central Florida such an incredible place to be, not just for the theme parks, but for our growing economy and all of the wonderful things that are going on here, as you said, living, working, and playing. What's next for you, Tanisha, as you look forward for the chamber into the future? What would you like to see the chamber achieve or your own personal goal, career, kind of a career goal?
Absolutely. So, Pam, as I mentioned, we're celebrating 80 years. And so we're looking
Wow,
forward to celebrating with the community in a special
incredible.
way in 2025. And, I'm just proud, and I have to thank my board of directors and my chamber team for helping us consistently grow the chamber and help our members. We've given out a little over $800,000 in grants since 2020 here at the chamber.
Mm.
In 2020, that year we gave out during the pandemic 100,000 in grants to help the members, kind of tide them over with micro grants through the pandemic. So looking forward to doing more of that. To assist the members, helping to see our businesses grow and scale is the greatest success that we can have as the chamber. And so we want to continue to make sure that we support the ecosystem here in Central Florida and making sure that we do our part in helping businesses develop and grow and flourish. So that's on the horizon for 2025, looking into adding some new programs as well as we celebrate our 80th year. And on a personal note, we'll see, if you had told me 10 years from now, I would be sitting here having this amazing opportunity to lead the African American Chamber of Commerce of Central Florida, I would have probably said, oh, I don't know if that's going to happen. But for now, I'm excited to be here. I've been here 6 years, and I feel like there's still some more work that has to be done. And then, we'll see where it takes me next. But right now, I'm totally committed to the chamber. Love being a part of this community, working with you and so many others, collaborating. And that's what we really do attribute the growth for the chamber is working well with other organizations and community partners such as Disney, who is one of our founding trustees. You mentioned they host us for Eagle Awards, but
Yes.
we have such great support, and I'm just thankful to be a part of it. And so for right now, I'm going to stay here and continue to do the work.
Well, we're glad. We're glad. I'm very, very glad. So, Tanisha, if our listeners want to find out more about the Chamber or the National Entrepreneur Center, where should we direct them?
Absolutely. So check us out on our website, please, which is www.blackcommerce.org. Anyone can join our chamber. You do not have to be a Black or African American business. So you can find out anything about membership there, as well as our upcoming events on May 2nd. We have our 4th annual golf outing. We have a political and legislative event coming up on April 22nd. In August, we will be celebrating Black Business Month. So we'll have our business conference on August 22nd. So please check out our website. And we encourage all of the listeners, if you're local or if you're visiting, please stop by and visit us. We'd love to have you come out and meet us and to support our members.
That is great. That is great. Thank you so much for joining our Bold Line podcast this morning. I am so excited for 2025 and your 80th anniversary. That's amazing. And I know we will want to be a part of that for sure. So thank you again for being a part of the podcast this morning.
Thank you,
And this,
Pam. This was
thank
awesome.
Thank you. Thank you. This podcast has always been focused on sharing great insights and connecting people to what matters. And here at CareerSource Central Florida, we are focused on being brilliant at what we do, being innovative in the workforce solutions that we have, being resilient and serving the community and leading the people that help to do the work. So most of all, leading these individuals and inspiring all of you who are listening. So thank you again, Tanisha, and thank you to our listeners for joining Bold Line today.
Thank you, Pam. Have a great day.
You too.